And we're live. Welcome back, dear freedivers. We will try again to tackle a question, small, sometimes a big one, in 5 minutes and see where we get in this short amount of time. Today we talk about the breathe up and the relaxation phase. Is there a difference? And if yes, which one is there, and which one should we use? Okay, let's start there. Is there a difference between a breathe up and a relaxation phase? I would say the difference is the purpose. The relaxation phase is what it already says in the name. The goal is simply to relax, physically, mentally, to basically shut down your body and your mind into minimal function and allow the breathing to happen. Basically, you focus on something that is relaxing you, so you forget about the breathing, and that is usually done with the body scan in the easiest form. Or then in some more complex mental pictures, you can go into attention deconcentration and so on. But they all have one thing in common. You want to physically and mentally relax as much as possible, forget about the breathing, and the breath will go into what you can call normal ventilation. I don't even know if this is a medical term. I got it from William Trowbridge, and I find it very fitting here. So you allow the body to breathe exactly the amount and in the way that the body wants and needs to breathe. So, and the purpose of a breathe up is also in the name in the name already. You want to breathe up to something. So you have a goal, you have a purpose in it. That might be you want to hyperventilate to lower the CO2 level in your blood. That might be meaningful for a good static, for example. Or you want to purposely hypoventilate. So you want to breathe purposely less than what your body actually needs. You build up some CO2, and that might be beneficial for a dive, like a deep dive, a very deep dive, for example. So there both happens, both exist. Hypo and hyperventilation exist in freediving, especially in competitive freediving. So the question is, do you exactly know what you're doing, and do you have a purpose why you do a certain breathing technique? So you want to over breathe or under breathe, then I would call it a breathe up. If your goal is to simply relax and allow the body to be, that would be a relaxation technique or a relaxation phase. Now, what we need is for that is a definition. What is hyperventilation or hypoventilation, and what is normal ventilation? So let's start with a simple or a simplified example. Let's assume in normal relaxed state you breathe, let's say 10 times per minute. And a normal breath, which is so-called tidal breathing, the relaxed state, is 0.5 liter per breath in and out. So per minute, you are moving in that state 10 breaths times 0.5 liter, about 5 liters. Now that is about the same thing, like, again, very simplified. 5 liters is also about the vital capacity of a big guy like me with big lungs, give or take. So it is the same as if I would do a full breath cycle from complete exhalation to complete inhalation and exhalation again in 1 minute. About that is the same like if I would do just tidal breathing and focus and relaxation. That would not be hyperventilation, that is normal ventilation. So if I want to now purposely overbreathe and offload CO2, that would be the purpose of that, then I simply breathe faster than this 1 minute in a full breath cycle. Or if I want to do the opposite, I do less than 1 full breath cycle in 1 minute. So in tendency, I would then underbreathe. So this is not exact science. This is the basic idea, and I hope I could get you onto that one. So you can play with the numbers. It doesn't mean that there's a like one technique is better than the other. Relaxation phase is better than a breathe up. The question is the purpose. Is there a purpose in applying a certain breathing technique? Then you can do that. For example, in the Molchanov system, we allow, especially beginners that just start their first experience in breath holding, and especially in static, to do, or we introduce them to do 3 chest breaths. That was probably also called purge breaths. Simply to lower the CO2 level by a certain amount, which then facilitates also for those who have a very low CO2 tolerance yet to do a comfortable breath hold. So that's a valid way of making the life of students and freedivers easier, with the goal then to slowly get the freediver away from these 3 purge breaths down to 2, to 1, and then 0. So the freediver can do the breath holds just based on relaxation in normal ventilation while building up tolerance to CO2. So none of them is better. The question is, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve with it? So make a wise choice. And if any of that, what I now explained, is a bit vague yet, talk to your instructor, send me a message, send me also other questions, what topics you want me to talk about in the future. So with that, we took, again, 6.5 minutes this time. Close enough. Thank you very much. See you next week.